Good morning, everybody. I'm joined here with the Minority Leader, City Council, Mike Green, with the council member from the First District, Shanae Williams. We also have Leslie, who is representing Councilwoman Pineda-Isaac, who could be with us there this morning, but if we were just a little earlier, she would have been here, but we couldn't make that work. We have the Housing and Building Commissioner, Vince Pesci, and we have Corporation Counsel, Matt Gallagher. We have our Assistant Corporation Counsels are with us as well. But in recent months, with the assistance of our Housing and Building Department, and of course the Corporation Council, Yonkers has made significant strides in ensuring the safety and well-being of some of our residential buildings, namely the tenants in those buildings. In fact, in Yonkers, most of our landlords, as we all know, are law-abiding citizens who do the right thing. Unfortunately, there are other landlords who routinely ignore safety guidelines and the responsibility, which are the responsibilities of our property owners. And therefore, we will be submitting another new piece of legislation to the City Council for their consideration that I believe will tighten up the responsibilities and the accountability of these landlords. This is an effort for the city to better protect the tenants here in Yonkers. The local law would amend the Housing and Building Maintenance Code and would apply to the residential buildings with 2 or more apartments. In other words, if you are in a 2-family house and you happen to be the owner and you're living there, then this would not apply to you. But if you own a 2-family house and you are not a resident of that 2-family home, then this law would apply to you. Our goal is to enhance the public health of our tenants so that the city can proactively identify any unsafe housing conditions or building deficiencies. According to this legislation that's being proposed, every property owner, and you can read them all here, must register once a year with the Housing and Building Department. And if the owner lives more than 20 miles from Yonkers, they must designate a live agent who lives within 20 miles. They must provide a 24-hour phone number and must post contact information on their furnace, which is what you basically do. If you're an oil company, your information has to be on that furnace. Now we'll make sure that there is something that identifies a person who should be accountable to that building. If the property is owned by an LLC or a corporation, they must provide the individual's owners for the legal entity. And that's been a problem for us, and this bill will rectify that. Owners must certify that each dwelling unit has been inspected once a year. It's a self-certification, but it's something that they would have to certify that there are no health or safety violations. Any building with 5 or more health and safety violations in a 1-year period, the building shall be designated as a chronic violator, and the owner is then liable for an additional fine of up to $1,000 a day until the violations have been corrected. The city shall have the right to abate any violations in a building that is a chronic violator and charge the owner the cost plus a 15% service charge. The law creates a chronic review violations board consisting of the Commissioner of Housing and Building, the Commissioner of Planning and Development, and the Corporation Council. And through this list of landlord guidelines, we will strengthen the city's code. We obviously want enforcement capabilities. We want to help alleviate the conditions of substandard housing here in our city and help our landlords, help our tenants as best as we can. The landlords, like I said, just need to be responsible for the safety, health, and of our individuals. What I'd like to do is ask our councilwoman, she'd like to say a few words, and then I'll ask the Commissioner of Building and Housing Codes to say a few words. So, Shanae Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. This initiative, this piece of legislation is really a good step forward, something that really should have been in place quite a long time ago. You know, Yonkers, we have a lot of old homes, a lot of buildings here in Yonkers that need attention, and this is a way to protect our citizens, protect our tenants from, being in a home that is simply not safe. And we want to hold the landlords accountable, and this is an attempt to do so. So, when you think about living in a place where the smoke alarm isn't working, or there's not enough heat during the winter, or there's no carbon monoxide detectors around, that is simply unacceptable. And we have to be able to reach out to these landlords and let them know what their tenants are going through and hold them responsible for it. And the only way we can do that is if we know exactly who they are. And right now, we don't have all of our landlords' contact information. We don't know who they are, and it's going to take some time to get this registry up and going and make sure that we have everything in order. But this is a step in the right direction, and I'm proud to support it. I'm also here to let you know that our majority leader, Michael Sabatino, couldn't be here, but Kush is also here to represent him as well. So we don't want to forget that the City Council, the Democrats on the City Council, and the Republicans, because we have our minority leader here as well. This is a bipartisan effort because this affects everyone in the city that are renting, and we care about our tenants, and this is a good initiative, and so I'm happy to see what we can do as it comes before us on the City Council, but I certainly will be supporting this. So thank you to the mayor and to the team, to the law department, and our building commissioner for working together to make this happen.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you for your input. I'd like to thank and ask for our minority leader of the City Council, Mike Green, to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to show my support for this registry. It's a step in the right direction. East side, west side, we all have situations. I want to see the building department step up to the plate and get things done. This is a big step in the right direction. If you're going to invest in real estate, then you have to invest in real estate, and things have to work in your investment. So this is what we need to do to get the landlords on board on both sides of the city. Thank you.
Very good point. We have the new commissioner, who doesn't feel that new anymore, Vincent Pisi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Today is a good opportunity to illustrate the teamwork that's been going on here over the last 8 months between the administration, the council's office, the corporation counsel's office, as well as my department. What we have here is a law that will be a proactive initiative that will allow us to track and better monitor these rental units as they are existing throughout the city. Right now, a lot of the resources of my department, when there's a situation, go to trying to track down where these landlords are and to get in contact with them. While this does give us enforcement, additional enforcement authority, it also provides us with an opportunity for education. And a lot of what needs to happen is landlords need to know what their responsibilities are and need to be held accountable for it. I think this law, along with some of the other initiatives that have been recently passed, will help us do that. And I appreciate all the support from the council and the mayor's office in getting these initiatives moved forward. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes, the Councilwoman Shanae Williams said that it's going to take some time to put this in place. What's the time mean? What some time means?
So the other commissioner,
Once the law is put into place, the infrastructure is more or less already in place. We have additional staffing demands that are going to come from this initiative, I think, to some extent, but I think we are set up to, within a 4 to 6 month period, depending on I believe the enactment date is September.
Yes.
So I think within that time frame, we will have a system in place so that the property owners can start their registration. Our goal here is to try to use this particular permit or registration as one of our online applications. We're in the process of launching that, and this would, I think, be a very effective way to implement this particular initiative.
No, this registration is not optional. Will it be part of the closing and close they have to register?
I don't think I'm qualified to answer that.
It's certainly not optional. Anyone who falls within the specific language of the law is required to register and then certify yearly certain things have taken place. And as soon as the law does go into effect, we will be able to proceed in that direction.
Yes, actually, that is clear in the law. What is not clear is what the mechanism would be, and perhaps your suggestion of having this as a part of the closing documents where there's some affirmation done at that time would be helpful. It's beyond our ability as far as a department to enforce that, but in working with the local realtors and real estate attorneys, we can recommend that it be included in a closing package. I don't think the legislation particularly addresses that, but it is a good point and one of the issues that we'll look at in implementing the program.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as Commissioner said, I mean, the legislation is very, very clear about what our intent is, what the council wants, what this mayor's office wants to put forth, and the administration, working with all of us, will promulgate rules that will be put in place that will provide for this to happen in a timely manner within a few months. And then, of course, it's a yearly registry, so it's something that everyone's required to do and do yearly. It's very, very frustrating for the administration to have to deal with, a building that maybe has many different violations, and then we can't find the owner, or we can't find who's responsible. It puts the city in a position to have to take responsibility, and we'll do that because at the end of the day, we're going to protect the tenants. But this will close a glaring hole, a gap that exists in the way the building department has to operate in order for us to get these matters to closure